Today I'm going to share with you 3 ways to make your wife fall in love with you again, which right now, let's be honest, seems fairly far-fetched because she's acting cold and distant, and the more you try to rekindle that love, the more angry she gets. It's a really frustrating time, but don't worry, on today's video I'm going to share with you how to successfully rekindle the love in your relationship. And make sure to watch the full video because at the end, I'm going to give you the 7 words to win your wife back. Now with all that being said, let's dive right in. We first need to understand the mechanics of falling in love, which has been explained by Robert J. Sternberg, a professor of psychology, in his triangular theory of love. The 3 components to falling in love are passion, intimacy, and commitment. Passion in a relationship can be defined as physical arousal or emotional stimulation. You and your wife have strong feelings of enthusiasm and excitement towards each other. You remember how it was when you guys first got together. You spent all your time together and you could hardly keep your hands off each other. There was something magnetic about you that had attracted your wife, and this should fill you with confidence because she's already fallen in love with you once. But getting her to fall back in love is different. You can't do the same things because now she's got resentment and she's disappointed about what happened in the relationship. She's erected a wall to keep herself safe. She doesn't want to get hurt or disappointed again. And this is why when you try to get her to fall in love by doing the things like you did in the past, like showering her with affection or trying to meet her needs for emotional connection or expressing your love for her, it doesn't work. The wall that she's erected doesn't allow her to see the love that you have for her. And instead, she sees a desperate man sacrificing his own well-being to win her love back. And this kills passion and attraction and pushes her further away. The second component for falling in love is intimacy. Now, this is the feeling of closeness and attachment to one another. You both feel comfortable expressing yourself fully and you can be your authentic self. And this creates a really tight bond. Now, a relationship that has intimacy but no passion will develop into a friendship. And this is the biggest challenge that men face. How do you restore the intimacy in the relationship that's been eroded because of arguments and not understanding each other's needs without ending up being in the friend zone? Now, the way you can ensure you don't end up in the friend zone is remember this: a queen needs a king, not a pawn. The biggest mistake that most men make when their wife says she's not in love anymore is they try and meet her needs. So they start cleaning up around the house more or looking after the kids more, and they end up being like a servant trying to appease their wife when she's no longer fully committed to the marriage. And all that does is kill her respect for you, and it kills the passion and attraction in the marriage. Don't do that. There are ways to make her fall in love with you, but it's not by doing that. The third and final component to falling in love is commitment. This is a conscious decision to stick with one another. Now, the decision to remain committed is determined by the level of satisfaction a person gets from the relationship. Now, your wife has checked out of the marriage and is no longer committed to the marriage or to you, and this is why everything you've tried so far hasn't worked. So what you need to do is you need to reverse engineer that process of falling in love and switch it from an external process where she was involved to an internal process where it's completely focused on you. Let me explain. 3 ways to make your wife fall in love with you again. We're going to flip that process of falling in love on its head and start off with number 1, commitment. You need to commit yourself to working on the issues that caused your wife to fall out of love with you. You need to get to the root problems in your marriage if you're to have any chance of rekindling the love with your wife. Now, in my free masterclass, I cover the 5 havoc-wreaking behaviors that causes wives to fall out of love. You can find the link down below. Enroll in my free masterclass today. Now on to number 2, intimacy. Currently your wife is being cold and distant and has erected an emotional wall between the 2 of you. Now what most men don't realize is this is actually a perfect opportunity to rebuild emotional safety and intimacy in your relationship. You just need to learn a new communication framework to defuse her anger and bring down her walls. Now I have a full training on how to do this. I'm going to link it up above. You can come back and watch this at the end of this video. Now on to number 3, passion. Over the years, you've lost your identity. You've forgotten who you are and what you stand for. And without this clear direction and a purpose in your life, your wife has lost attraction to you. Now, let me tell you, brother, there is nothing more attractive and sexy to a woman than a man on a mission, a man with a purpose. So let me help you reclaim your purpose and your passion for life. I've created a free cheat sheet down below which will give you clear direction and clarity on your life. Check it out down below. So now that you're clear on the internal shifts to rekindle your wife's love, watch this next video on the 7 words to win your wife back.